good to go there. Live on Instagram. Alright.
Previous just had some pullback, some sort, some decent volume.
And then watch CIDM there. Alright, guys, so I'm live on YouTube. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Click the icon to alert you if I make new videos. I really appreciate that. We're just gonna kind of go over this week's recap with Jordan and Richie this week. And then I'm gonna go over yesterday's day as well. Yeah, it's a little early, I know. But I just kind of want to get this over with, get it done with for the week. I apologize about yesterday not being able to get on. I was definitely trying to do that. I just didn't have time. But we will do yesterday's recap and today's recap all in one day. So let me get everything set up. Richie, I know you're covering a little bit. Do you want to cover how your week went and kind of go over the ins and outs of
Yeah.
what
So,
you what you went through this week?
beginning of this week, Monday, on the first week of June, things are, relatively slow for me. There were only a couple of runners, um, mixed sectors running. It wasn't so clear. So,
Hmm.
I only made like, roughly, 1,100 bucks, on June 1st. Um, that's above my daily goal, which is $1,000, and I like to keep my goal, pretty low. So, I don't like to put it so high, like, 5,000, 10,000, because I would get frustrated and
Yeah.
tend to overtrade,
Yep.
and,
Yep. I know
lose.
what you mean, man. I know what you mean.
So, I was above, around, $1,000 on that day, and I was happy, just, like I made, like, I'll be just as happy if I made 10K, on the day or something. So,
Yeah.
as long as I'm above my daily goal, I'm happy. And, going towards the middle of the week, we saw GNUS, massive mover. So, things started to pick up momentum wise, towards the middle of the week. Middle of this week, made around like, let's see, roughly in 25K, in
Mhm.
Wednesday and Thursday. And today, the last day, now we're seeing oil names, reversing. I think last month I was, talking about, or I said something about, I think June and May will start to be, I'll say, the rebound, like the bounce of the market. So we just noticed like a huge, um, massive sell-off, towards, March, when the coronavirus was happening, and now, since we capitalized off of that, now we're going to be starting to capitalize on the bounce of the, market in general. So that's why I think, now oil is bouncing back up. That's when we start to capitalize on it again. Um, so yeah, so things definitely, I think, ending the week. I'm going to be ending the week maybe, yeah, so just roughly 40K on the week,
Nice, man.
if
Great.
anything else. So, yeah, it's just been, beginning of the week, in summary, pretty slow. Then middle of the week, we saw GNUS, so momentum starting to pick up. And then now we see oil going up, making new highs, in crude futures. So ending the week, pretty strong. The first week of June, very strong, I would say. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
good.
Okay. And so I kind of want to go back on that. You're talking about how you basically were covering. You had goals set, and you didn't want to set them too high because you felt like you would have overtraded. And like I get that same mentality as a trader. Um, it's basically one of those feelings where if I start setting the ceiling too high, if I start trying to push for too much, first of all, the first thing that happens for me is I size in way too big on something that is not worth sizing up on because I'm trying to push too hard. What's going on, high end, Jenny, David? I'm trying to push too hard on something that shouldn't be pushed hard on. Like it would have been easy for me to look at CIDM and say I missed out on. Makes me want to throw up every time I say it. Like if I would have hit top, it was a $1.25 million trade. But it's easy for me to look at that and be like, okay, well if I would have, if I could have, if I, all this hindsight stuff, right? And you know, I've been able to hold that back over the years. I've been able to hone the FOMO and the thought of, what if I would have type mentality. And then, when you Oh, you guys can't hear Richie on YouTube? That's weird. I don't know why you can't hear Richie on YouTube. But it kind of, I used to be like that where I would, be so frustrated, and then instead of the next day making more, I would actually lose everything I made because I was so frustrated on what I missed out on and not focusing on just moving ahead, moving forward, and trying to, make today better than yesterday. I would focus more on what I missed out on, and then I would try and overtrade that same stock because I was frustrated at it, even though that doesn't care at all. It has no feelings about me or like what I missed out on at all. Like, but for whatever reason, that's why I always have a rule that I have. I don't like to trade the same stock if I lose twice or more on it because I get so frustrated at it. It does, and I'm sure it happens to a lot of you guys where you get frustrated at one stock and you just keep trading it and trading it and trading it, right? And if that happens, then you don't even realize it. But for me, at least, I start to overtrade the ticker. And it would have been easy for me to chase CIDM the next day at 4 and 5, and get trapped on the way down with too much size and lose money. The next day, I haven't even touched it until today. And today I touched it from 253 up to 260, and that was it. But at the end of the day, you gotta realize the stock does not care about you. It doesn't care about how much you're up or down. It always follows a pattern, a process that you can try and put the percentages on your side, and that's the best that can happen for you. At the end of the day, again, it does not care about any of that. That's why I have that rule, because I noticed that was a problem of mine. So I kind of like that you covered that. That aspect of setting your goals kind of lower, just letting the trades pan out. Not forcing anything on a week that was easy to force because of everything going on. We had Hertz, we had LK, we had GNUS, CIDM, so I'm sure I'm missing others. And these all traded, half a million, a billion, 2 billion. I've never seen any small cap trade 2+ billion in my career, ever. So that just tells you what kind of market we're in. And I thought about that going into the CIDM overnight. And I really did think long and hard, should I hold it, should I not? And the only reason why I didn't hold it overnight was because I didn't want to see 125 to 150,000 in profits, and then literally have them do an offering, and watch that literally go to almost nothing. I couldn't handle that emotionally. So I weighed that out, and I'm like, that would really screw me up for the next week or so if that happened. Is it worth it? Not really. But at the same time, looking back, it's like, when do you ever have an opportunity to play a sympathy play that where it traded $1 billion yesterday and $2.4 billion the next? It's super, super. I've never had that opportunity, and so I should have taken it overnight. Maybe my thought process was, sell 3/4 and keep the fourth overnight. But I just couldn't get myself to do it because it ran so much farther than I thought it was going to into the close that I wasn't able to allow that. And I've been stuck in multiple offerings before. And I also remember GNUS did 2 offerings before it ripped. CIDM only did 1, and I felt like since they already did 1, they could potentially do another because they see their stock up so high. But they did not, and it would have been by far the biggest trade of my career. But here's the thing: I learned from it. We all learn from that kind of stuff, and so yeah, that's just kind of what I cover. So I'm glad you kind of went over setting your week and setting your goal kind of a lower mark and just being comfortable with what you're with what you're doing and sticking to your plan, sticking to your process, and not pushing for too much. All right, Jordan, you there? You're gonna trade?
Yeah.
As soon as he's not talking, there's something going on. Oh, sorry, I was adding some oil names. There's another one, yeah.
on Monday. That's when really kind of ignited this volume. And man, I had to take a step back for pretty much 4 days in a row, and I was making like 600 to 700 bucks a day, and I was getting super small size, like maybe a couple hundred shares, if that, and tracking really high volume tradable names. To kind of prepare for what's to come because I saw anytime we get a 500% return, it's typically it seems like every 100% of the intraday range that the stock has is like an exit point. So the fact that we got like a 500% hit on not just like a 500% gap but a meaningful hit, that to me indicates that the next couple of weeks is going to be pretty hot. So this week I finally sized up into the setups into what is working the last 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and it was good. Everything went pretty much according to plan. I think yesterday was a PR day, month over month. It wasn't a PR back in April, but as far as May, I didn't make any over 2,000 in May, so I was happy with that. And focusing on these high volume names, I don't even know if I'll ever go back to playing kind of lower volume stuff, like I don't know, the stuff that you see on Twitter and stuff.
Mhm.
These high volume names, the liquidity is insane. I mean, HQB on its site we look will have anywhere from 50 to 100,000 shares, and that's getting no slippage at all. So really, the potential with the amount of volume that we're getting, in my opinion, it's obviously from the foreign team, but I've been saying it since the Robinhood days where they first opened. Penny stocks consistently, it seems like week in, week out, month after month, are getting higher and higher volume. And just from my own stats that I've tracked over the years, it's confirming. And really the confirmation with GNUS is huge, with it trading $2.5 billion in a day. I
Mhm.
don't know what the market cap is on that, but that is incredible volume. So overall, I'm happy with how I performed. Let me give my states. Today was pretty much just a sympathy day for me. I really wasn't too interested in playing the crazy names that gapped up like XSP and HQB. I played them a little bit just because it's interesting on normal, but my actual biggest win today was Hobbs and Ship. Hobbs first midday, I got long 45,000 shares of Ship, and I made like a penny. So um, that was pretty much my game plan going into the morning, and it worked out afterwards with the open. So that's pretty much it for me.
All right. Cool. Cool, man. So yeah, I mean, we all had definitely a green week, which is awesome to see. I'm gonna go over, the week that I had. Uh, Probably one of the better weeks I've had in my career, to be honest. But that's what I'm always striving for. I know there's never a ceiling for me. I know there's never a top. I know that I can keep pushing. I missed out on a ton this week, and that's fine. I know that uh, you know it definitely you know this week there was more opportunity this week than I've ever seen as well in my trading career. Just because the volume was absolutely insane this week. I've never seen anything like it. We had Hertz go from I don't even want to look. It was like 80 cents to like I don't think we opened at 4 today. Let's see. Yeah, we opened at 4 or no. We opened at
Went to a high of $4.
yeah, and we opened at like
That's crazy.
340. Yeah, and I mean it's just insanity. Like I don't think they had any news. I think they were just complete bankruptcy bounce. Shorts were getting trapped, and it's just the market we're in. LK went from 140 to now up to something. We've had I mean GNUS go from like you said 40 cents to freaking 11 plus dollars. The opportunity on that bounce was insanity. CIDM 80 cents to $6. There's just so much going on out there in the small cap world, And, it's showing that everybody's showing up. Everybody's at their screens. Everybody's willing to take an opportunity that there is. Everybody has already showed their faces, all right? They have showed you that they're out there. People are willing to buy. There is tons and tons and tons of traders that are on their screens right now, okay? And they're willing to put their money into small caps. And that is something that we need to look for. We probably had, $5+ billion just in a couple of tickers in small caps this week traded. That is a lot of people. And so going into next week, I'm not expecting to see the same thing. But what I am expecting to see is where we have more volume. We have tons and tons of volume again. And I think it's a little bit more predictable because we've already seen who showed their faces, okay? Now, once everybody shows their faces, now you might not have as much volume, but the people that missed out on all these opportunities this week, they'll be there next week. And that is when you get traders that are not as knowledgeable, not as talented. And that's where, in my mind, sometimes you can make the easiest money is, you know, in the weeks that come from like big runners and big 70 plays. Like that's how I make my money on 70 plays. The first one shows everything. It shows everyone that this can happen, right? The second one, the follower, is the one where the traders who missed out start chasing. And that's where you have chasers that aren't as smart, aren't as talented, aren't as experienced. And that's usually where I make all my money is in those big time sympathy plays, right? And CIDM was that concept, right? Seeing the first runner go up, and then I load the boat on the second runner, thinking that everybody who missed out is going to chase, and they chased and chased it in a huge way. And I made almost 100% on it, or no, I made like 70-80% on a huge position, okay? And it's all fun, but I mean that thing went from that, it went like, I don't know, like 600 or 500% or something like that. Okay, so at the end of the day, these opportunities right now, guys, I haven't gotten off the screens all week, and it's going to feel great to get off the screens. I'm not going to lie. Because I am so brainwashed. It's insane. This week has been me trying to take advantage of every opportunity that comes up. And, those of you guys who are out there trading right now, it's a great opportunity to take advantage of because you don't always see markets like this. And when I see these opportunities, this is when I put all my time in right now. This time right now because I can go on a vacation when the market's slow. That's fine. Maybe I miss out on 10, 20 grand, 30 grand, but I'm not going to miss out on opportunities that in CIDM could have been over $1 million just in one trade, just in one trade. That's not and the GNUS dip from 430 back up to 820. That's another huge trade right there. That's almost 100% move in like an hour, and the liquidity was absolutely nuts. So, these are the markets that I don't care, if people are calling me. I don't care if someone's texting me. I don't care if I have to do something or I'm supposed to do something or I have an appointment. I'm canceling it, This is the week, and next week coming up is going to be the weeks that you want to be here. And it's been like this for a while now, but it's becoming more and more predictable because we've seen MARK, then we've seen XSPA, all these former runners that have to do with the coronavirus, are all running. And we've been missing out on the REITs like MFA, NRZ. Those have been having 40-50% runs. Now we have oil running. So there is a lot of volume out there in small caps right now. And trust me, we're going to have a great week next week if we stay disciplined, if we stay smart, trade well. And I guess I can kind of go over some trades that I made this week. To start the week, I was down. I had a red day on Monday. Let's see here. Where is it? On Monday, yeah. On Monday I had a red day. I was down, think like $5,400. And I said, was up and down all day, $4,400 down, 10K, or sorry, all day up $4,400, down 10K, up 3K, now down 5,500. Very frustrating day to start the week. Okay, that was definitely a frustrating way to start the week. Nonetheless, you have to keep grounded. You have to stay disciplined and know that you stick with your strategies if they work. Stick to your process and don't get too emotional. Next day, I just came back and I stuck to my plan, stuck to my strategy, stuck to my process. We did 17,000 that day. Let's see. I'm hearing that So ZOM was a decent trade. ZM I shorted. That was a decent trade. NNDM was another good one. So that was about an almost $18,000 day on that one. And then on what was that on Wednesday? We had a crazy day. We did $132,214.71 in profit on that day. And I'll go over those trades. Mainly it was CIDM. But let's see. Funny enough, Jordan was actually over at my place, and I made a trade. I was making a trade on GNUS, and we're sitting there looking at it and talking about it. And where's my charts here? Oops, there's my charts. Okay, cool. I was sitting there and I'm like, GNUS has gone up so far. I mean, how much FOMO, how many shorts, how much Hertz is coming right back up from 250 now to 270. That thing, it's something to watch going into next week. I mean, that could gap to 5. I don't know what the heck's gonna happen with that one. But GNUS, I want to cover this trade to kind of give you guys a clear explanation of my thought process on it. I actually traded it after hours. After hours, so you can see kind of how this chart's been panning out, right? It's just gotten over parabolic, and now we went from 280 to 4, then we gapped to 440, then we ran all the way up to 8, then we had a consolidation period all day with an uptrend, and then you guys can see, basically if you look at the chart here, GNUS. If we blow this up here. VAL new highs. Great call, Richie. Let's see here. Where are we at?
Yeah, I'm currently looking at some oil names.
Yeah.
I see some oil names just grinding up. HPR, some of these smaller names just continue to grind.
Yeah, I know, man. It's been, and like I said, we're just in a crazy market, It wouldn't shock me if that thing goes to $1, I have no idea right now. We're just so much chase, so much FOMO, so much volume right now. But GNUS, so you can see this kind of like an ascent triangle, basically. What's going on, Dr. Miami? Good to have you on, man. Yeah, I'm glad you're learning every day. That's awesome stuff. You're getting a G-Wagon? That's awesome, man. Okay, so 775, ascent triangle, higher lows, right? This thing doesn't want to give up. Every time this thing comes down, we get a huge rip back up, comes down, we get a huge rip back up, comes down, we get a huge rip back up, comes down, huge rip back up. Once I saw this recovery, I was waiting for this consolidation, okay? I actually got long a couple times and stopped out for small little sliver losses in this consolidation, right? I actually longed almost perfectly at 775. Right. Where are we at? Oh yeah, right there. So right on that perk up, I got long 775, and then my goal was to scale out above 8. I thought once we got above 8, we would definitely see shorts cover, and we see a squeeze, and after hours it can get crazy. So, but my plan was literally get in 775. I had a big size position. I think I had 20,000 shares. It's kind of sweating a little. My hands were a little clammy, not going to lie, because of a potential offering. If that did happen, it would have been a decent sized loss. But I got this was probably one of the easier trades that I could have taken. All this consolidation all day long, never let go. Definitely one where, this one's going parabolic as well. And I know how much shorts are trying to get into this. We still are holding after hours. Once I saw this rip back down and then consolidation period for like an hour, I was trying to long it. We squeezed up, and then we got this move, and I literally sold out 825 for about $9,000 or $10,000. It ran all the way up to almost 9. But I was literally looking for like just a pop through 8 to scale out on. That was like the easiest trade right there. Look at those green candlesticks. 1, 2, 3, 4 green candlesticks in a row with massive volume of 482,000 shares. Just in that 1 minute candlestick, that is what? How much dollar amount is that? So it's how many? So that's 500,000 shares. That's got to be like $5 million plus dollars in one candlestick, $6 million plus dollars in one 1 minute candlestick. Um, Maybe more. I don't know, but truly insane, guys. Truly insane. But that's exactly what I was looking for. This to me was like textbook, right? Um, so that was a trade that I made, and then CIDM was the trade that I made. I don't even want to look at it. I was getting long, guys. I had 250,000 shares at an average price of 83 cents down here. That line right there on my screen is where my average was. I scaled out into this move in here. Didn't expect it to close that strong. And I honestly thought about, I was going to try and get into some dips. And I was really thinking about getting into, I was looking for a really strong sell-off into the close. And then I would have gotten long again. I didn't quite see enough sell-off. And then after hours, it was so illiquid that I couldn't take any size. So I didn't really find any interest. I actually was getting long a little bit and stopping out through here. And then I didn't want to chase this many green candlesticks. And then, 4 o'clock came around and we just ripped and straight up to $6. We went on like huge liquidity. Could have been my biggest trade of my career. But again, you learn from this. There'll be another opportunity. And next time I won't miss out. Okay? This is basically another NCTY where I made over $375,000 on. This same setup, this strategy, this mentality, right? It was textbook NCTY. Again, I just didn't want to get stuck up in an offering. Usually, though, when there's this much opportunity, I won't care. But for whatever reason, being up that much, I felt like I had to take it off. And I was looking for dips, but I just didn't quite get the look that I wanted and missed out on the whole rest of the move, basically. But still a huge trade. I'm not complaining. Great trade. For me, I'm always trying to get better. I'm always trying to do more. And you'll always see me like that. I don't care if I make, let's say I make 5, 10 million, like 5 years from now, 3 years from now. You're going to see the same mentality. I'm always going to be, well, I could have made more. Well, I could have done this and I could have done that. And that's what keeps me going, guys. So I'm not complaining. I'm not down. I'm just telling you, I'm going to learn for next time and I'm going to do better next time. That mentality, having that mentality the rest of my life will make me hopefully one of the best traders in the world. But I have to continue to have that mindset. And obviously, I'm doing different things than most people in the room. But it doesn't mean you can't get there. It doesn't mean you can't have that same mentality and put yourself in my shoes eventually. So, let's see. What's VAL doing? 89. Any?
This thing keeps just continues to push. I'm waiting for a dip, but this just keeps holding. Like, dang.
Yeah, NE's at 28.2. That's up 77%. CPE. What's OAS? Probably at $1. Yeah, we got above $1 and came back down. Gosh, all these oil names. Yeah, just all these. This is just the chase we're in right now. But yeah, so those two trades are basically my trades those days, and then the next day, I nailed XSPA overnight. Let's see, XSPA. Yeah, I believe I was longing. Yeah, 117 was my entry, and I got out in the morning. I was already up to start the day, like 30 grand to start the day on that day. And then, let's see, LK was a big trade for me in my inherited IRA. I did a $2.17 average roughly in there. Got out at 340, 330 average on this push. Missed out on a lot there. But the thing is, like, there's so much opportunity. And yeah, I'm sure I'm missing out on a lot too, but it's just crazy the kind of markets we're in, right? And so, what else did I trade that day? GNUS, I took the bounce trade, so I got long at 508, and I got out at about $6. This thing ran to 8 something. I just didn't feel comfortable with that because, I don't know how offering. I was telling you guys all week. I was looking for this right here, $12 down to 4. That's exactly the strategy that I look for. Parabolic runner, multi-day, multi-week parabolic runner, getting absolutely out of control. And then finally you see the snap. And once you see that snap, I've seen this time and time again, okay? And this setup right here is predictable. Look at this. The liquidity, let's see how many shares. I'm gonna look how many shares went through here. I want to see what kind of fills you could have gotten. So you had 6 million shares go from 420 to 470. Okay, so that is, what is that? That's like almost $30 million. Okay, yeah, like almost $30 million traded underneath 480. So realistically, I think the liquidity was there to take some massive size. Like if you're like an actual hedge fund, right? I feel like you could get long this stock and make, almost 100% in what? How long did that take? That literally took, oh my gosh, like 45 minutes. 45 minutes to make almost 100%. Okay? Like, sure, we're not looking at investing. Sure, we're not looking at, I'm not looking at any of that. I'm here to make money, right? I'm here to make a living. I'm here to try and be one of the better traders that I can. So this opportunity, sure, it looks ugly, but this stuff's predictable. The only reason why I didn't take more size and hold on longer is because I don't ever think I've seen a stock have an offering to cause that sell-off. I thought the offering potentially could cause this to sell off maybe even farther, and on top of that, not bounce. So that's the only reason why I didn't take bigger size, or else this to me could have been another $100,000+ trade if I had conviction. But I didn't have conviction because of the offering, and I don't have that experience. But now I do. So let's say if when I turn 26 and 27, I will have that experience and be able to make those kind of trades, and it's only going to get better and better and better as I have more and more experience. But I never put my hard-earned capital to guess, right? So my size told me that I wasn't as confident, right? I haven't seen enough data to back that. So when I have that, I only took, I think, $50,000 worth, rather than I probably would have gotten in full account size next time this happens without any question, because I know the liquidity, what can happen, and the bounce and the percentage that can happen. So I'll be ready next time. I still made, I don't know, I think it was like 7, 8, close to $9,000 on that one. So nothing to complain about, but next time I'll be more prepared to get better at that one. And then what else did I trade? I think that was basically it. So, crazy week, guys. It's crazy to think that, on my inherited IRA and this account, I'm up over $300,000, but the opportunity was there, and I could have done a lot more. But the thing is, that's what just keeps pushing me. That's what keeps driving me. There's never a ceiling in the markets, guys. Truly, there never is a ceiling in the markets. So that's what makes me, keep coming back every day. Working for someone at a 9-to-5 job, there's usually pretty much a ceiling, no matter what. But trading stocks, guys, there's never a ceiling. And I will continue every day to push to be better every single day. You're always going to see that just because that's the way, I don't know why that's the way I'm wired. I have no idea. I feel like that's just who I am. I guess I'm competitive. I don't know. But, so that's really all I had, this week. On the challenge account, I think we're up over 200. I don't even know. Maybe I'm up. I haven't really done any tallies or anything like that, but we're definitely up over $200,000 in the challenge account. And just so you guys know, not including today, we are at I think just about 1.35 million, all starting with $1,000. So hopefully that motivates you guys. And we have a goal by the end of the year at 5 million. And I'm gonna continue to push and get better and better so I can get there. But don't look at my P&Ls, guys. Always look at percentages. This bounced almost 100%. Okay, CIDM. If you had $1,000 in this one trade, could have turned it into, you could have turned $1,000 into like 6 or 7,000, right? Because of the percentages. Or let's say you had $100, I could have turned it $600 or $700. Percentages are everything. Don't look at my P&Ls and be like, this guy's crazy. Okay, I do that for motivation. I do that so you guys can be inspired, but I don't, I don't do it to just be like, hey, look at how much I made. That has nothing to do with what you should be pushing for. You should be pushing for percentages, and you should be pushing for it to get better every day, and the things will follow from that. So, I think we had a great room or a great week as a team. I know Jordan and Richie are green, and then I'm sure Brenny's green, and I know that some of the rest of the mods are green as well. This was a crazy week, and I'm looking forward to going into next week as well. Um, so yeah, guys, it's that's really all I had. I'm watching UAVS into next week. I'm also watching ABIO into next week, and yeah, that's other than that, I'm just gonna kind of play what comes to me. So that's really all I
Yeah,
had.
we're seeing a lot of oil names like Chap, continue to run FET.
Yeah, FET looks like it's going. Yeah,
Chap's also looking very similar to Val.
yeah, Chesapeake's climbing as well.
Yeah, literally every oil name is just going.
Something tells me we can see some big gappers, man. I have that weird feeling again, man. It's just like, yeah, it's just those people that missed out. I feel like might come. I mean, look, VAL's traded what is that, 100 million shares today? I mean, it hasn't traded 100 million shares in I don't ever. I think, yeah, ever. I mean, it is a definitely a it's a lower volume stock, or I mean a lower price stock, but still, that's just it wouldn't shock me to wake up on Monday and see oil, um, oh, is my mic not working? Wouldn't shock me to see, to wake up on Monday and see them gap 100 plus, 200 plus. I mean, I don't. Again, in these markets, nothing shocks me. The only thing that shocked me was to see Hertz gap up and LK gap up the way they did. That was the first time I was like, wow. Uh, CIDM, I felt like had that chance, but the other, this just has been crazy. This market, we're definitely being spoiled. That's for sure. So
All right, guys. Well, I think we should get off. Go relax and have a nice go to stream.
Nice talking to you guys.
yeah, go take that 4 hour nap.
You definitely need that.
Yeah, yeah. All right, all right. Later, guys. Thanks for coming on, and we'll do this again next week. All right, cheers, team, and go Hawks.
Cheers.